Hello and good evening. This is Shelvon, and this is sorry, excuse me. This is Gaming and Culture Play TV. This is the uh, gaming part of the Gaming and Culture Television bar. I kind of have been doing this for a little bit, but there's some interesting news came out today, so I thought I'd check it out and start this up again. So let's get into it. The first thing that we're going to talk about is all right. So Nintendo decided to, after much speculation and leaks and all that other stuff, they decided to release a trailer for the Switch 2. And I think that's what the name is going to be. So let's check it out. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's bigger. That's cool. Mhm. Oh, that's cool. The Joy-Cons. Okay. All right. The Joy-Cons are bigger. Thank God. These things are made for, like, I have a Switch and that is made for children. I normally just play it handheld with the whole thing together because if I tried it with the Joy-Cons, I can't because I got big hands. I'm a big guy. So they tend to be a little too tiny for me and it's not that comfortable. So I'm glad they made it bigger. Okay. Oh, that's good. Would have to be because the other one is. All right. Wow, that looks. Wow, that's way bigger. Okay, nice. We'll find out more on the 2nd of April. All right. Okay. So there's another thing by CNET. Hopefully, give some more information. So let's check that one out. And I think I found. So there's a bit of information today.
After literal years of rumors, Nintendo has finally announced the successor to the Switch, officially titled the Nintendo Switch 2. Here's everything you need to know about the new console handheld hybrid. The Switch 2 is bigger, with a larger screen, and while the brief reveal trailer doesn't give hardware specs, many leaks have mentioned that the new screen will measure around 8 inches in size. We can see in this comparison image how both Switches stack up next to each other. There is a second USB-C port on top this time, not just on the bottom for charging. This functionality also remains unclear. The first Switch didn't allow for display out without some kind of dock or dongle. Here's hoping one of these ports will allow for that, much like how the Steam Deck can. The new console has moved away from the dual-colored controllers for a more unified black or dark gray look across the new Joy-Cons, other than some accent details around the joysticks and inside the Joy-Con docking mechanism. I actually think this is a bit unfortunate since matching your own color combinations on the first Switch was so fun. Here's hoping that we
Yeah, I'm quite sure you'll be able to do that too. So
see a return to colored controllers in the future. The Joy-Cons also have a similar look to last gens, but will now connect by simply pushing into the body instead of sliding down on rails. Leaks have talked about Nintendo using a new electromagnetic way to hold the pieces together. The reveal trailer doesn't specify. We also got confirmation that there is a new button located on the right Joy-Con under the home button, and you guessed it, no word on what it does. The kickstand has been updated again, this time allowing for space inside, making it look handle-like. It's also a bit shallower. It will run along the entire back just like it did on the Switch OLED. There is also still a headphone jack. It seems like the leaked images of the dock were also correct. It has a slightly smaller design with more rounded corners on the top. The last dock update, with the Switch OLED, gave it a built-in Ethernet port, but no word on how this new one will differ. Nintendo says it will play both physical and digital Switch 1 games, however no images of the Switch 2's game carts are shown, so it's unclear if they'll have the same form factor. There is only one cartridge port, so maybe there will be some kind of hardware design to distinguish Switch 2 games, similar to how Game Boy Color games had a notch in them. It also points out that certain Switch 1 games, quote, may not be supported on or fully compatible with the Switch 2.
why not? That's okay.
But doesn't elaborate further. In fact, the only game we do know about is that there is a new Mario Kart for the Switch 2, and even that didn't get a name in the trailer. Curiously though, everyone's wondering what's up with that new Donkey Kong model. Alongside the trailer, Nintendo announced the Switch 2 Experience. This is a public event that will allow people to get hands-on with the new device in cities such as New York, LA, and Dallas. Ticket registration is free and will begin tomorrow on January 17th. The first of these experiences will be the New York location on April 4th to 6th, which will be just a few days after the April 2nd date the reveal trailer ends on. It's unclear if we'll get more information about the device until that date, so the speculation begins. But what are you hoping for the Switch 2? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm kind of excited. Looks like one of those is in my neck of the woods. So I wonder if I'll be able to check that out. I think I should go check that out. What do you think? You think I should go check that out? So I think I found some information on it. Okay. Let's see. I found a few. So see if they give us any added detail to what we're looking at. Let me share that. Alrighty, here we go. Excuse me. All right. This is on Tech for Gamers. So, all right. Yeah, I say so a lot. I need to stop doing that. The industry is full of leaks regarding the Nintendo Switch 2 for the past few months. Fans and analysts, of course, have cooked up different theories about the console while keeping the leaks in mind. However, Nintendo didn't care about that and followed its timetable. Just now, out of nowhere, the gaming giant has revealed its much-awaited Switch 2. Why it matters. Speculation and hype for the console has been huge. Nintendo has garnered a massive fandom thanks to its dedication to making quality games and, of course, its handheld. Joy-Cons, out of nowhere, the gaming and tech giant released the first look at its console. Reveal is actually quite interesting, with some fans claiming that this is the quietest, most chill console reveal. Yeah, it's very, very Nintendo. I guess they decided that they were going to do it on this date because I'm trying to think. I don't think Nintendo's ever pushed anything up just because of leaks. I think they've gone after sites because of leaks, but whether or not they moved anything around, I don't think so. The Joy-Cons this time seem to be black, and its controller appears to have a major improvement with its predecessor, notably that it's bigger. The improvement is related to magnet as the Nintendo Switch owners have experienced issues where the controllers would loosen up. However, it seems to have been fixed with the upcoming console. Nintendo hasn't revealed any more information regarding the Switch 2 release date and price, so we are going to see a lot more speculations. The console's full reveal, including new games and more, will take place on April 2nd during the Switch 2 event. It's worth noting that the upcoming console will play both physical and digital games that were released by its predecessor, with some exceptions. and some of them may not be supported or fully compatible, which is well within expectations. More details will be shared in the official official Nintendo website later. Okay, I think there's okay, without information, when connected to television, is it? Oh, without information, official specifications, we have to resort to leaks and talk about the specs of Nintendo Switch 2. This console would arrive with an 8.4-inch OLED screen powered by NVIDIA Integra T239 SoC with 12 gigs of RAM at 7500 MT over S. I'm not familiar with that. And 25 gigs of internal storage. That is very tiny. But Nintendo games aren't tend to be that big, so I hope that they allow you to add your own flash, like micro SD, because 256, damn, that's kind of small. Connected to the TV is between a PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro in terms of power. Of course, it will be supported by upscaling technology such as NVIDIA DLSS or similar to offer a screen resolution up to 4K at 30 frames per second, which is very Nintendo. Again, Nintendo games tend to be kind of different than your normal PC or PlayStation or Xbox game, but that's already starting off behind the 8 ball, and you don't even know when it's going to launch. So, okay. To this end, Nintendo has been seen its dock revamped. The known information is completed with the support of a new micro SD express memory cards. Supply drastically reducing the load times for games. Okay. As for the price, it's speculated it will arrive at $399, with its games costing somewhere between $6-9 and modern gaming, bro. It will not be until April the 2nd that we know everything about the next gen console from the Nintendo camp. $399, that's a lot. All right. Okay, see if they have any more information. Latest report comes from Zippo, who claims that Nintendo aims at the price of the console at $400. Why it matters? The price of the console is a significant part of its overall success in the market. There are four companies that need to find the right price for specifications for each generation. $400 for what looks like kind of old tech. So this price could put Nintendo Switch 2 in competition against the PS5 Digital Edition and upcoming Xbox Series S Carbon Black. However, the Nintendo, well, not really, because Nintendo is not necessarily competing with PlayStation or Xbox. They have their own thing. They are very comfortable being their second console, which is funny considering how the second console sold more than either of those two. But that seems to be Nintendo's thing. So I think there's one more video I saw. Let me see if I can find it. Hopefully gives a little bit more detail about the leaks. So let's see if I can find this. Alrighty, so this was a little. All right, so this one is by GameSpot. Share this tab.
Buckle up, kids, because all those leaks you saw of the Switch 2, look at the controller showed behind the doors of CES, well, looks like it's true because it was announced today, January 6th, 2024, 25. Whew. All right, so let's kick this off by at least going over the very few details and things that reveal gave us, because it basically gave us nothing. It was like when you know someone really well and you hung out with them and then they go to college and they disappear for a few years and they come back and they're like a little wider or a little bigger and you don't really know why, but they look like they've grown up. That's kind of what the Switch 2 reveal looked like. Something you can't quite place. Anyways, so that's going off of that. It's bigger. Apparently, some sources say 1 inch. Specifically, I mean, the assumption is that it's 1.4 inches big. I'm willing to put my money down and say it's going to be 1.3, but they're going to tell you it's 1.4. It's got 2 USB-C ports. That means you can dock it upside down. I don't know if that's true, but I'm sure we're going to try it the moment we get our hands.
There's probably some people had other paraphernalia to go with their Switch, and they were having trouble charging the damn thing. So you could buy a third-party, not necessarily dock, but a stand, and you should be able to charge it. Hopefully, that's what that means. So I'm not sure why he doesn't think that it's relevant, but you know,
on it. Speaking of which, when you dock it, it's now got a little space, a little more space above it, which I think is great. I think it's fine. People seem to be really upset.
I don't like it. It looks weird.
Why?
It looks like it doesn't fit on the thing. It looks like I'm trying to put it on, and it's like, oh, it's too big. It's weird. I just think it's weird.
With RTA Cabinet Store, you get designer cabinets without the designer price tag. Choose from our...
You already got it. Okay.
It's backwards compatible, but not with everything. So it didn't say exactly what it wouldn't be backwards compatible with, but we do know it uses the cartridges that probably still taste like shit. I mean, that is, oh, I shouldn't swear because of Nintendo. Okay, well, you can keep that. But it's safe to assume they did have an asterisk that said not every game will be compatible with the Switch 2, and I'm assuming Labo isn't making the cut.
Oh, I saved all my cardboard.
You have all the Labo cardboard still.
It's just sitting in my garage. Now I'll never get to use it.
You didn't use it the first time?
I was waiting for a better part.
You didn't do the robot?
No, I wanted to see it in 4K.
Look, I thought that was going to be the VR of Switch.
Okay, all right, that's enough of that. He doesn't seem to have any more information than anybody else does, and he stretched that out to like an 8-minute video for some reason. All right, so I do have on one more thing, but they don't seem to have any information either. So let's see what they got. This is That Park Place. Okay, so they talk about the dual USB-C ports for versatility. Another exciting confirmation visible in the trailer is the inclusion of USB-C ports on both the top and the bottom of the console. This design allows for greater flexibility in charging and docking. Players can now charge the console in tabletop mode without needing a custom docker stand. The dual ports may also support new accessories, though Nintendo has yet to reveal any specifics. Sturdy U-shaped kickstand. One of the most applauded features of the trailer is the redesigned kickstand. Yes. I never really used it tabletop. I mostly did use my Switch in handheld mode. So this is like an issue between it and my television. So I just got used to using it in handheld. It doesn't really bother me the size of the screen, but I do appreciate them making it a little bigger. Flimsy stand original Switch is replaced with a robust U-shaped kickstand, ensuring better stability during tabletop play. This improvement directly addresses one of the main complaints from fans of the original console. And that seems to be about it. So lots of speculation there, lots of leaks. All right. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is actually speaking of let's talk about a little bit of PlayStation. All right, so PlayStation's next State of Play presentation expected in February, claims an insider. 2025 is going to be another exciting year for PlayStation, as Sony has many titles like Ghost of Death Stranding 2, and others to be released on the console later this year. While Xbox has recently confirmed the release date of its next developer direct for next week, which should be good. It appears that Sony also has plans for a State of Play next month. Why it matters. The next PlayStation Play next Next, PlayStation State of Play will get updates on the release date of upcoming games on the console and may also come with a surprise announcement. Just recently, Nate the Hate, who has recently leaked the announcement date on Nintendo Switch correctly, replied that one of the followers talking about when fans can expect the next PlayStation State of Play. The leaker's reply suggested that February is the month, and we can hear more from PlayStation. Although Nate has been reliable in recent times, it is best to take this news with a grain of salt, as nothing has officially been confirmed by Sony yet about the next State of Play. And the recent rumor is if the recent rumor is to go by, we believe that Sony has a lot to share with the fans about titles like Kojima Productions' Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, and Ghosts of Yotai. Therefore, fans have a lot to look forward to in the next State of Play. Nevertheless, the unofficial announcement will be made soon if the recent rumors are accurate. Okay. So it's a little bit of information. I'm not that excited about Death Stranding. I didn't play the first one. Hopefully, given Sucker Punch's talent for making enjoyable games, I hope they don't go the girl boss route for that Ghost of Yotai. That would suck a lot. So, all right. But we do have some more information when it comes to Xbox. We have some bad news and some interesting news. All right. So let's get into that. All right, so in the wonderful world of Xbox, we have the bad news first. Microsoft announces new layoffs, gaming division affected. Microsoft laid off more than 2,500 employees in the gaming sector last year, and it looks like they're not finished. Microsoft has yet another round of layoffs affecting staff in security, sales, devices, and gaming departments. It comes after a recent job cuts linked to the company's performance in response to the current economic challenges. Well, I think the first one was about the fact that when they bought Activision, they had a lot of people who kind of did the same thing that they did that they had positions filled at Microsoft. So, which usually happens when you one company buys another one, two companies merge, that kind of thing. All right. So, why it matters, Microsoft CEO is able to secure a $30 million raise for himself. Oof, must be nice. Despite laying off over 2,500 employees last year, it seems that the CEO is planning to run back the clock this year as well. So to see, that is, whenever people talk about like Xbox, they always go on this whole thing about how it's failing and whatever. Like every time I see this dude, he don't look like he's in charge of a failing business. It's like, I think they're setting themselves up for the future, which looks like it's going to be streaming of games and you being able to play Xbox games everywhere, television, cell phone, everything. So the way I look at it is they're setting the ground, like they're setting everything up. And in the future, if you want an Xbox to plug into your television, great. It'll probably give you like a little bit of extra oomph to your games, or you'll be able to play online, because pretty much most people who play games tend to have a very nice internet setup. They got some places where people don't, but a lot of people now, more and more so, and given what where everything is going, especially with Starlink and that kind of thing, pretty much everyone at some point is going to have fairly decent internet access. So once that happens, you streaming your game is going to be so commonplace. And I think that's when the Microsoft is betting on. PlayStation seems to kind of need you to purchase their hardware, whereas Microsoft really doesn't. So, all right, let's get back to this article. According to Business Insider, employees at the security division are notified about the layoffs earlier this week. A Microsoft spokesperson called the layoffs small in size, but didn't share how many people were impacted. Gaming, an important part of Microsoft's future plans, was also impacted. The company has invested heavily in gaming, including acquiring Activision and Blizzard. Given the story that I am going to check out next, it should be interesting because they purchased them to put all their assets on Game Pass because they want to be the Netflix of gaming. However, these layoffs show that even growth areas are not safe from layoffs these days. The Experience and Devices division, which focuses on creating new hardware and software, is facing similar issues. This area has become more competitive in recent years. This comes almost a year after Microsoft laid off 2,000 employees in the gaming division. Meanwhile, the security division, led by Charlie Bell, a former Amazon cloud executive, is among the teams facing layoffs. It is notable given Microsoft's recent push on cybersecurity, and the company expanded its Secure Future initiative last year, focusing on security after major breaches, including the attacks by Chinese hackers that accessed customer emails. Microsoft increased focus on security, even became a key factor in employee performance reviews. CEO Satya Nadella highlighted this shift in an email saying, if you are faced with a choice between security and another priority, choose security. This wave of recent layoffs is part of the broader trend in tech industry. To be honest, you know what I think it is? I think that when Elon Musk purchased Twitter, he was able to get rid of 80% of the staff. And this was around the time where all these people were doing the in the day of a life thing. And you got to see these 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds making $100,000 a year and not actually doing anything. So which ticked off a lot of people. And I think that when he went into Twitter or X and he got rid of so many people and Twitter seems to be working fine, I think it put it into all these companies' heads like, wow, we don't need as many of these people as we thought. So I think that partially has something to do with this and the economic downturn and all this other stuff. And people aren't purchasing as much stuff because of the not recession that we're in. So again, but like I said before, they're setting themselves up for the future. Now, there is another actual story when it comes to Game Pass, which Microsoft is betting all their stuff on. So let's see if I can find it. Okay, so this is another tidbit. Now, I actually have Game Pass. I don't actually use it as much as I used to. All right, so this is one story. The gaming market doesn't really want a Game Pass, says analysts. Microsoft could have wrapped up its gaming business in 2021. The gaming subscription services provide a great value for the players, especially now that Game Pass gets all major releases on day one. However, they aren't the best for business, and the most prominent studios are hesitant to put their games on the service. Well, yeah. I think it's mostly good for smaller companies, because there's a lot of games that comes out like indie that you wouldn't necessarily try, but if it's packaged in Game Pass, you may try it. And if you like it enough, when that company comes out with another game in the future, you would probably be more inclined to try it, and you probably would have never played that game in the first place, regardless of how much it costs. It could have been $5 and it could have been $20. There is like thousands of indie crap on the Switch that you have to shift through just to get to anything that's decent. And most of those games, and they're like $4, $5 or whatever. I don't pay them like no mind in that. I'm just getting into PC games, and it's the same thing on Steam. This is a lot of stuff. I don't know which one is good, which one is not good. All right. Sorry. According to a new report in 2021, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella had a choice to either wind up their business or acquire more studios and put their titles on Xbox Game Pass and cloud services. He ended up acquiring Bethesda and Activision. Why it matters. It has been revealed multiple times that Game Pass isn't sustainable. Despite games gaining a lot of traction because of the high budgets with games these days, studios don't want to put their games on the service. As per the article published by the information via Reset Era, several key studios have resisted Microsoft's pitch of putting their game titles on Game Pass in exchange for fees the company pays. And According to this guy, Gus Zen, I think the majority of the game market doesn't really want Game Pass like the one Microsoft is offering. Okay. The company had even hoped that Activision's acquisition would help them with cloud gaming, but it didn't. Yeah, I wonder why. Before the Activision deal fell through, Microsoft hoped to gain 100 million Game Pass subscribers by 2030. However, come 2025, things don't look too promising. While the service has been a boost due to recent releases, it isn't sustainable to take it to Microsoft's previous goal. Okay. Let's see. It doesn't really get into. Let's see what else this dude has to say. All right. Yeah, he doesn't really give that much information. I don't know, man. Like, Game Pass is a good idea for gamers. I can see how it wouldn't be that great of an idea for like publishers, but the thing is these game prices are getting to the point where people are buying less games. So you got to kind of wow them in order for them to purchase the games that they get. Because most of the games that I've gotten in the last 4 or 5 months and all been on sale, especially in the like around Christmas time. I bought a lot of games because they were on sale. I'm not too keen on purchasing any of these products because you don't really know if they're going to be good or not. And a lot of these games aren't good. It's like kind of boring, or they've changed a lot of stuff and it takes you out of the game, that kind of thing. So I don't know. I heard that Indiana Jones is good, but that's on Game Pass. Now, would I have purchased that for $70? To be honest, not really, because the IP has taken a hit in the last couple of movies and all the other stuff. And it's the same thing about like what's the game I'm thinking about? It is damn. I am drawing a blank. It's the RoboCop. Like, no, I heard that was good. I actually bought it because it was on sale, and I saw some gameplay of it. Would I have spent $70 on that? No, because I waited until it came on sale, and that's when I bought it. Now, Monster Hunter Wilds is coming out, and I'm about to spend a small fortune on that one because I actually like the first one. Like, not the first one, but I like World, and I like the other one that came in between World. So because of those games are good, then I'd be more inclined to spend full price for it. So many games that I'm just basically going off of word of mouth. And if the word of mouth is good, then I'll check it out. But there is one more story that I wanted to get to before I left. So let's see if I can find it. Here we go. It's one last story. Then I'll call it a night. So this was going kind of short. Okay. All righty. Last story of the night. Suicide Squad retcons Batman's death. More Batman Arkham games not possible. Actually, you know what? Let's see if I can find that. True ending of Suicide Squad. Okay, here we go. All right, that's really long. And I got this. I did. Yeah, that's right. Dude, the freaking cars on YouTube is getting kind of ridiculous. All right, so let's share this. All right, so they retconned
Then
the
we
ending.
raided our butts into Brainy's lair, and he was steamed. But guess who else showed up?
Brainiac, that's enough. Kryptonian, you're indubitably too disco-populated to fight. Don't you know, Brainiac? Anything's possible with a little help from your friends.
Thought he meant us for a second, but of course he meant bats. Ow! That says
The criminals.
that's us did well following his plan. So how'd we figure out Brady had cloned the league? We were like, there were clones? Anyway, we totally laid it out. If we took him back, Walla would make them into even bigger tools. More importantly, she'd totally 86 us. Soup said the league needs to atone for everything that happened, starting with freeing all the folks Brainy tentacle wrapped, then putting as many worlds right as they can. As for us, we had a plan too. Did I mention the Wonder Trio up hacked, Lawless and Toy Boy shorted out our bombs? That's important for the next part. At the end of the
Yeah,
day,
direction for
the
this.
squad
Terrible.
sticks together. Why not do it out there in the Elseworlds instead of a freaking prison block? Road trip! Don't you love a happy ending? Even Waller gets to say she saved the world. And she will, if she knows what's good for her. Suicide Squad out!
Metropolis. This is Lois Lane. From all reports, it seems that Batman is gone. As Batman and as Bruce Wayne,
You gotta wonder if they did that because the backlash from the game didn't really help, because it was like a rumor that, or people were speculating that that's what they're gonna eventually do, because you can't let Kevin Conroy's last performance as Batman be that. So I don't know. All right, but let's finish this. So ready. Yeah. That game came out free on PlayStation 5. I linked it, so I was contemplating trying it, but I don't know if I'm even going to try it even free. All right. Suicide Squad has become controversial for more than a few reasons. Its live service approach was a complete failure. The game failed to measure up to Batman Arkham's legacy and will cost Warner Brothers in the millions in losses. These problems aside, the game's treatment of its main cast has also become a point of contention. Everyone in the Justice League was killed, including the same Batman from the Arkham series, which they made you which they went out of their way to make sure that you knew that that's who they were killing. The fans were unhappy with this outcome, and nearly 1 full year later, Rocksteady has retconned the plot point, opening up a new possibility in the future. Why it matters. Fans have wanted to see another Batman Arkham game for the longest time, and many believe the retcon was a small hint at Rocksteady's future plan. Problem is that the people who make Rocksteady are no longer at Rocksteady. So what you're going to have is a Batman created by the people who made the Suicide Squad game, and that was repetitive, or supposedly repetitive and boring and stupid, and I can't imagine this same group somehow going to get that much better in order to make a Batman game. The latest episode of Suicide Squad shows Batman alive and well, and confirms that the heroes killed during the game were clones created by Brainiac, confirming that the heroes like Superman and the Flash are still alive. This retcon has seemingly come out of nowhere, since the Justice League death was the foundation of Rocksteady's latest game, and it could have more than a few implications for the team's future. The Batman Arkham universes can now be continued, with the same Batman reprising his role in the series lead. Elsewhere, the team could work on a future Justice League or Superman game within the universe, something that many have wanted for years. Once again, just like BioWare, just like so many other companies, the reason why when they put out new product and it's crap is that because the people who made the games that you like no longer work there. And they hired a bunch of green-haired people who are trying to push an ideal of what they think the world should be instead of making an actual fun game. So, given the state of everything is in right now, you would hope that these companies need to make money. So, therefore, they would kind of push that kind of stuff to the side and just go out of their way to make games and hire people who actually are interested in doing that instead of people who are trying to pitch something to you. All right. Interestingly, James Gunn has also teased more games in the same universe. The story beat concludes the Suicide Squad ending Rocksteady's ambitious, albeit futile live service efforts. Yes, because most people do not want to play live service games. They just want to buy the game, play the game, buy another game. There are some live service games that work. Fortnite and apparently Marvel's Rivals is another game that seems to be working right now. It's like, yeah, but these games are very few and far between. Most people aren't that interested in this type of stuff. And if they are interested in, usually the game is free. This title was recently given away on PlayStation Plus in the last ditch effort to attract more players, and the reaction has been anything but positive. Yes, like I said, I attached it to my account, and I still have not even downloaded it to even remotely try it. As such, the team will likely return a familiar superhero in the future, making this retcon the perfect setup for another Batman Arkham entry. I, for the life of me, don't understand what Warner Brothers has against doing a Batman Beyond. Excuse me. You had Michael Keaton, who was too old to be kicking butt, but who would be the perfect age for the Batman in the Batman Beyond universe. You can hire a brand new actor to be the new Batman. Like Terry is white, but he's like an ethnic white guy. So you can probably cast a person of color to play that part, and people will be a little upset, but not as upset as if you retcon Batman. So you could have did that. You could have did a couple of movies with Michael Keaton because he didn't have to do stunts as playing as that Bruce Wayne. There's a couple of stunts. Every now and then he will get, you can have a flashback scene, stuff like that. But then you could do multiple movies, Batman Beyond in the universe. He has his own rogues gallery. You can create new rogues gallery, folks. See? But Warner Brothers doesn't seem to like that kind of stuff. They like rehashing old things that worked instead of trying something new. But that is the state of Hollywood and various other things. So, I don't know. All right, well, that is all the news I felt like talking about today. So please like, share, and subscribe. And, if you got any comments, let me know down below. So, all right. Well, later.